I'm sick of the prick with a stick.
And the good news is, that's the last time we'll see him, at least for season 4. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. If you've been following the channel, though, you know the drill. We review a season of an individual show, and then we take like 2 to 3 months off before that show comes back onto our schedule. So the good news for us is once we get this over with, once we wrap up this review, we do not need to talk or watch Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 until probably sometime in September. Hell, maybe even October. So it's been a lot of Morgan. We've had this guy shoved down our throat. He's came into the show. They pushed him as the #1 character. But as soon as we get this review over with, we can push Morgan out of our lives for a good period of time. And that makes me happy. So I'm actually buzzing to talk about this episode, to talk about this finale. But that's kind of where the buzz ends, because it was a really poor finale that was once again focused around Morgan. Morgan was the guy that got the story. Morgan was like the individual character that went on his little journey. He had the storyline. He had the scenes. Everybody else in the group was literally grouped together, and they were just happened to play the victims. They were like some back screen characters, no-name characters, red shirts that just happened to be sick, and Morgan was the one that needed to save the day. Like, none of the other characters got any sort of individuality. Literally, they were just all in Group B, and Morgan was in Group A, the only group, the group by himself. It was garbage, man. Never seen this before in the original Walking Dead. You always knew Rick was the main character, but they had you believe that the other characters held importance. This was, even when you look at the, I'm trying to compare this to the sickness episode, or the sickness arc in season 4 of the original Walking Dead. You had characters that were sick, and then you had other characters that were trying to help the sick, and you had other things going on. In this episode, you had nothing. You had everybody but Morgan, who was at that motor place, at the garage, whatever you want to call it, the gas station. They were locked up in there. They were sick. They were needing help. They were defenseless. They were unable to do anything. They were vulnerable. They were just sitting there, ready to die. You had all them doing that. And then on the other side, you had Morgan. Morgan was on a mission. Morgan had to save Martha. Morgan had to do this. Morgan had to do that. Morgan had to escape after almost being killed. Morgan had to come to the day and rescue everybody else that was sick. It was all about Morgan. And it fucking sucked, man. It really did suck.
It really did suck. And let's just look at this, right? You've got Martha, who is terrorising a group of like 12 people, right? Flashback to the past. We had Luciana, Strand, and Alicia pretty much wiping out the entire group that sat outside the baseball stadium. That was about 3 on 30. So how can a 3 on 30 work? But then when that exact 3 add 9 to their group are, you know, being traumatised by a woman, a middle-aged fat woman, it makes no fucking sense. The plot is Morgan struggles to find the strength to help friends in dire need before it's too late. That could have been the description for every single episode this season. Every description pretty much started with Morgan. Morgan struggles to find his stick. Morgan climbs down the fire truck.
I know what Morgan can do with a stick. Anyway, let's start at the beginning. So they go back to the gas station. They're going to get supplies before they head to Alexandria. Then Morgan makes the reveal that he isn't going to Alexandria. He's going to try and help Martha. I mean, what a joke. It was Morgan's idea to go to Alexandria. Morgan is the reason that Jimbo tagged along and Jimbo got killed. If Morgan wants to make that right, if Morgan wants to do right by Jimbo, then he should be getting everybody here to Alexandria. He's the only one that knows exactly where they're fucking going. So how can he be the only guy that isn't going to go? I mean, it makes no sense. The guy turns up in season 4 after leaving Rick in the group, and then like halfway through he decides, fuck it, why did I do that? I've walked halfway across the world, I'm going to do a 180 and I'm going to go back. Then he gets to the final episode and decides, no, you know what? I'm not going to go back. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to go and try and rescue this woman that is hell-bent on killing every single person, and I'm going to offer her a place in Alexandria. Why? Why the fuck would you do this? You want to keep people safe, you're sick of losing people, but then you're going to go and try and bring a woman that's done nothing but kill and just be a horrible person, and you're going to try and bring her to Alexandria, a place where you claim you have people that you care for and love and can't afford to lose. I mean, on what planet does that make sense? No fucking planet at all.
It doesn't make any sense. Speaking of Martha, though, we see what happened to Al. Right, she confronts Martha, who's got a zombified Jim. Al has got a shotgun pointing at Martha, who doesn't have a gun at this point.
All she's got is what she's always had, a zombie on the end of a stick.
And somehow gets the upper hand. Pathetic, awful writing. Guns, you know, unless your name's Steven Seagal or Solid Snake, you are better with a gun than you are with a knife. That's just it. Right? That's just how it fucking works.
Martha didn't even have a knife.
Yeah, she didn't even have a knife, so cringe. But then the whole gimmick with Morgan, he catches up to Martha, right? And then he has her in the back of the police car. And he's like, oh, it's going to be okay. What the fuck was this guy's idea here?
Yeah, so he's planning on taking Martha back to Alexandria. Everyone in the gas station I guess they're going to go and drop off the supplies. This was Morgan's idea. Once again, Morgan with another bright idea that's got everybody in the group sick. They could have just headed to Alexandria, but Morgan was like, no, we need to go back and we need to leave these supplies along the way. And what's happened? Martha has went through the supplies. She has intoxicated the water. She's tampered with it. I believe she's put antifreeze in it, so everybody gets sick. They radio through to Morgan, saying they're not well. And then Morgan finally, well, he doesn't really put two and two together. Martha kind of, laughs and gives away the fact that she's the one that done it. Morgan is then demanding, how did I help them? What did I do? What did you give to them? How did you poison them? She then jumps into the front and makes Morgan crash, and Morgan then crashes into a wall, and I mean, they're in a bit of trouble here. They escape the car. Morgan wants to know, what is it? He eventually manages to find out that it is antifreeze, and apparently the cure for that is alcohol.
Ethanol. So yeah, that is what the plan has to be.
Ethanol, but alcohol in it, whatever. Outside, there's a big tanker with ethanol. We see the group that are in the gas station. They go out, they try and fight their way through zombies to get to this tanker. A couple of stray bullets hit the tanker, and within the space of 10 seconds, we're led to believe that this entire full tanker has literally leaked out. That's not true. A couple of holes in a tanker this size, I mean, it would take hours, I would say, probably. If not hours, you're talking a good half an hour at least.
Yeah, and they had the stuff to see in order for them to get it. See the hole it would be coming out of. It would come out quicker than what was produced here. And they had the containers out there. What are they doing? Now, what is this fucking show?
It was so dumb. It's well, see if you see the holes in the tankers, would you not just go up with your container and hold it up to the hole so you can actually just capture the ethanol? But whatever, they didn't do that, and then they're back inside, and they're hoping, they're relying on Morgan to save them. Morgan then gets Martha, and Martha's injured.
She's bit.
I don't think she was bit.
No, she revealed to Morgan that she was bit when she pulled down her top. There was definitely a bite mark in there.
I think that was... Are you sure? I'm pretty sure that was a shotgun blast from Nail-X.
No, I'm pretty sure.
What's the guy in the wheelchair? Denzel?
Aye, Denzel. That guy Denzel.
No, what is his
washing Nail-X. Fuck, I don't know what the guy's name is.
Brian.
Brian?
What's the guy in the wheelchair?
I'm sorry, his name
Bob.
is... Bob.
I don't
Nail-X. Call him Nail-X.
Kevin.
No,
right, so the guy
she got bit and it confirms it on the wiki. Alright?
Alright, well, I didn't know that was the case. I must have tuned out. I must have zoned out of that part. So
I wouldn't blame you. She
reveals that she's bit, and Morgan then is going to go back to try and save the group, but he says that he isn't going to... Wendell. So yeah, Wendell shot her. Then Morgan says that he isn't going to allow her to kill anybody anymore, and he handcuffs her to the car. Now, what I got from that was he wasn't going to allow her to like go off and kill anybody. But I mean, I guess the fact that she's bit, what Morgan is preventing her from doing is turning into a walker and killing somebody. Even though if you turn into a walker and you're still free, I mean, the average walker doesn't kill anybody. The average walker just gets put down, especially if you're going up against Morgan and a stick. If you're lucky enough to find a Jimbo, then you can get a kill. But I mean, the average walker doesn't kill someone. I mean, we've seen hordes of walkers not kill anybody. So
yeah, it turns out she actually cut her arm off and was walking free. So Morgan just walks up and kills her anyway.
Yeah, so
he killed Jimbo as well earlier, by the way, if anyone cares.
Yeah, he killed Jimbo. He put Jimbo down. Morgan then gets back to the gas station. He's got Jimbo's beer. He's got the recipe. They brew it. What's it they calling it? Jim Beerbos? Or
Jimbo's Beerbos.
Jimbo's Beerbos. What a shite name that is. They drink the beer. You have... Who's the main guy that we like again?
John.
Big John. John Salmon or John Dory?
John Salmon. No, he says that, Charlie, that's your last drink till you turn 21. Brilliant, John.
He tells her to, ease up on it. Which is, I guess, is right. I mean, it's fucking...
No, really, I get it, right? Ethanol cures the antifreeze, like, antidote.
It's not like you need to drink 10 bottles to do so.
Yeah, but how's that work? Does one beer literally sort it?
Not entirely sure. It just seems like a cheap-ass excuse for everyone to get drunk. And then, before they head off, so they're going to go to Alexandria. Before they do that, Morgan's like, there's one more thing I gotta do. And he literally fucking goes all the way back to find Martha. Martha, at this point, is not where she was previously. She's halfway up the road. She has either cut her arm off or literally just tore her arm off. I'm assuming she did that before she turned in an attempt to be able to kill people. I don't know. Morgan then walks up to her, taps a stick on the ground. She turns round, boom, stick through the forehead. Martha's dead. Then they all get in their vehicle. They drive. Vehicle. They drive and then they stop at like some sort of power plant.
Factory.
And Morgan comes to the conclusion, nah, wait. We ain't going to go to Alexandria. We're going to stay here. We're going to set this place up. And it can't just be for us. We've got to help people. And then we have Madison's daughter. What's her name again?
Alicia.
Alicia's like, yeah, that's what Mom would do. That's what Madison would do. So the group basically looks like they're no longer going to Alexandria. They're just going to set up in this factory. And, I mean, I guess they're going to help people. They're going to turn it into like a sanctuary. And we've never really seen many good sanctuaries. Any sanctuaries we've seen in The Walking Dead universe tend to be bad places with bad people in charge.
They always end up getting overrun, don't they?
Maybe this is going to be a good one. I mean, I think the only pro from this would be the fact that if the group is going to have a base, then it might mean that in season 5 we're going to get a lot more episodes that are just like group focused, where you have like the focus on the group rather than solo and individual episodes. And if that means we get less Morgan, then great. But they'll probably still find a way to push Morgan down our throats.
Yeah.
But I think in season 4 we see way too many individual episodes. I prefer when the group is all together. I get it, you can have times when the group split up, but when I look at the Walking Dead episodes, the original episodes, when you look at the episodes that feature only a couple of people, I mean, they don't tend to be the best ones. Unless you're dealing with like some really great characters, like I think 18 Miles Out when you've got Rick and Shane going. But that's Rick and Shane, do you know what I mean? That's...
No, I would say this is one of the worst episodes I've ever seen on TV. I would go as far as saying that, because you know what? Anyone I think who's alright was out the game with the antifreeze. It was literally a Morgan against Martha.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, everyone else here was just basically playing a background character. They were sick and they were relying on Morgan to come and save the day.
It's just the amount of times this Martha escaped and got the upper hand. And it's... See Morgan, man, if he just appeared in that one episode of The Walking Dead, I would hold him so much more fucking to a higher regard than I do right now. No, would
you say Claire sent him back? Did he go down in your estimation, Claire?
I would say he remained pretty stagnant. I don't think it did him any fucking harm. I can see why people would think it did him harm or moved them up.
Can you see why people think it moved them up?
Yes, absolutely.
What I would say is, I definitely preferred him less in Clear than I did in Days of Gone By.
No, what I would say is not. That's
But he wasn't. I mean, I didn't look at Clear and go, "Fuck, I hate Morgan."
that's a fine assessment, right? But listen to this assessment. We rank every character, right, for each season of a TV show we do, so we have to talk about him again. Sadly, honestly, I'm putting Martha last, Morgan second last. I'm not even taking the piss. The guy makes it fucking unwatchable, and I think the only person who made it worse was her.
Well, I mean, I think we need to. I think we'll need to think about that a bit more, but he's not very high up the list. I'll put it. That
No,
way.
he's not. But you've got to hold it. No, this is Morgan. I mean, they've completely revamped the show for this guy, and he's pretty much made it unwatchable. It's had the opposite effect. This guy was supposed to bring in ratings, right, and bring in like eyes for The Walking Dead, and he's half the viewership within a season.
I mean, what I would say is, outside of Morgan, and outside of Charlie's group, I think there was quite a few decent additions to season 4.
No, I agree.
I like John Dory.
I think Wendell, Sarah, John Dory.
I like June. June's alright, even though at the start she was a bit. I think she's okay. Not as good as John, but I think she's okay. You got Wendell and his sister. I mean, I think they're good. Jimbo was a bit annoying, but he was different. He was a different kind of character, so I can get on board with him. I don't like Al. I'll accept that, but I mean, when you compare her to, I would rather watch an Al solo episode than a Morgan or a Martha episode, hands fucking down.
Yep, and that's what we got here, which it's sad. I mean, this just shows you what writing can do. And I mean, a season ago, Fear the Walking Dead. You know, like look at the amount of characters you had left, like Troy. Like the whole dam blowing up with Madison and like the core group and like Flash, when you go forward a season, who is left from that? It's just it's a disaster, that's what it is.
I still think peak Fear was probably back end of season 2 to the
mid-season of season 3.
I think the last few episodes of season 2 and probably the first half of season 3, I think that was peak Fear the Walking Dead.
Yep, well, this wasn't peak. I'm going to give this a 1. I do reserve my zeros for something that would... I mean, I literally did say this is one of the worst TV episodes I've seen. I would have to think about what are the worst episodes.
Well, you know what? I mean, I could look past it if it wasn't like just so many... Like Morgan flipping and flopping, whether he's going to go to Alexandria or whether he's not going to go to Alexandria. The scene with the tanker, where they supposedly just bled the tanker dry because of a couple of bullet holes, and they sat there watching while all the ethanol just leaked out the tanker, and they didn't make any attempt to try and capture it in a container, even though their lives were at risk. I mean, things like that pissed me off. Just Morgan in the first place saying he was going to fucking leave the group, and basically telling them, just go on without me, go to Alexandria without me, I'm not going, I'm going to go and try and fucking rescue Martha. And then when he does get to Martha, he's got this plan. He's going to bring Martha to Alexandria. This woman has killed everybody or tried to kill everybody that she's come into contact with. He is going to bring her and rock through the front doors, the front gates of Alexandria with a fucking cold, heartless killer.
Yeah. No, it's retarded. That's what it is. Because even if...
Are you going to bring the governor?
But even if this group accepts it, why would Rick... I don't even know if Rick's still around in this timeline, but like Rick, Daryl... Carol, why would they accept her in?
Bringing her into Alexandria would be like Morgan going out and finding a guy that's raped every fucking kid that he's came across and then try and bring him into a nursery.
No, you're right.
You know, like, what are you doing here?
No, what are you doing? No, but the logic's... It's just so forced.
No, but like, how many times have they tried to recruit Martha, right? Or they've tried to give her the benefit? You've lost that benefit.
No, but... See, Morgan, I lose people, I lose myself. Yo, I'm not saying you can kill everybody, right? But there has to be a line, man. Like,
how many people's Martha tried to kill? Literally everybody. Anytime she's got an opportunity to try and kill someone, she's tried to take it.
Yep. I'm giving it a 1. What are you giving it? It's a finale, man. It's a finale.
Yeah, well, it wasn't good, was it not?
No, it's fucking awful.
I know, it was very lackluster, the ending. See, when it just faded to black and it ended, I was thinking, really, is that it?
Yep.
I mean, are you joking?
We're going to come and help anyone who might need us.
I'll get a 2. Wasn't great.
1.5 out of 10, guys. That is it for I Lose Myself. I felt like I lost myself watching it, talking about it. But here, we're halfway through this show.
This Martha person felt like a character that should have been like a 1-episode character.
Absolutely.
And they were the antagonist for the second half of the season. One person. Look at the amount of damage she done. I know it was a bunch of nobodies, right? But look at the amount of truckers that she took out
I know.
in that montage.
It's a joke.
I mean, holy fuck.
No, it's a fucking disgrace is what it is, because it's a... Yo, it's not like she's like you're running around, man, with like I don't even know, like an LMG or something. She's running around with a walker on a fucking pooper scooper.
Effectively what it is.
That's effectively what it is, and you know what? Keep your pooper scooper out, Martha, because this show...
Pick up this number, 1.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah.